Well, we did it, everybody. We made it. Proud of you. That's right, we all made it to 2021. We survived the Mayan calendar. And so far, it doesn't look like Mad Max around here. So we got that going for us. And the other thing I'm gonna commit to doing is not caring about my hair, because ain't nobody got time for that. So I thought I'd give a quick little update of what's going on, what we've been up to, and some things we've learned, maybe some changes we're making. So if that sounds like something you want to learn about or watch, keep watching. So it's cold out there. Thought I'd come in. So we've been on some adventures, as you can see. We've been home, just relaxing over Christmas here, and it has just been great. Really enjoyed it. It hasn't been terribly cold, but I'll get into that later. We did have a little bit of a scare with things. If you want to know about that, keep watching. So we have been using the bus here and there. We've been going skiing, and it's been just a blast having it around because everything's shut down as far as indoor anything. So, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to keep doing what we can to enjoy the season where we're at here, right? But in doing that and our last trip, we are thinking about making some changes. Let me show you what I'm thinking about here. Actually, I shouldn't say I should say we. Jen and I have been talking about these things. So anyway, let's get back to it. So let's start with what has been good. What has worked out really well is this couch situation here. Kids love it. Kids fight over it. Dog fights over it. It's just, this is a huge hit. I think it really made everybody enjoy traveling a lot more because this is what we had before. So I think we are actually going to convert the love seat that matches it into this, and it will go right about to where the end of the dinette is. And the other big change we're thinking about making here is we're going to get rid of our dinette. Yes, stop the presses, stop everything. We're going to get rid of our dinette. But we've got an idea. And it wasn't actually even our idea. So you remember when we met Shane and the Good News Bus? Well, we really saw what they did in their bus. And so what they did in their bus was, rather than have a dinette and dedicated seating, they combined the two, because we're a bigger family too. No, we don't have 11 or 12 like they do, but we have 6, and we can't fit all around that anyway, even if we wanted to. And we don't really have room for a booth that could push out in a slide or anything like that, because we don't have that. So what they did was they actually have a table that goes right here, and they actually mount it into the floor. I've got some ideas on how we might do that, but the point is, use this for recreational seating, and as well as seating for actually eating as well, or whatever you want to call it. And then, as you can see here, we could totally use some more room, kitchen counter space wise. So I think we're going to turn this into another kitchen counter area, and then just have seating here, and a table that kind of folds down halfway. I think it'll work out. So that's just one of the ways that we're continuing to be flexible and just learn. And, if you're building a bus conversion, always keep that in mind. It's amazing how sometimes once you're living in it for a while, you have different ideas of how you can use the space. How you actually end up using it is oftentimes a lot different than you would have thought how you were going to use it. And I think building it yourself the first time gives you the confidence to then change it later. So also something to keep in mind. What else has been working okay? As far as the bunk bed area here, I thought these worked out okay. Some of the kids, or the boys, didn't like them all that much because they said it was restricting their feet somehow. I'm not really sure. The new cabinets up here, those worked out pretty well. Actually, we took a trip recently. It was we went somewhere. And then these side skirts that I added in, they definitely helped with keeping the pillows in the bunk and not laying on the floor all the time. So that's kind of there. The other thing that's been working out really well is the diesel heater, and it is 67 degrees in here right now. Diesel heater, that's it. One diesel heater is doing it. I did make a change to how we're venting it in here. Not a big change, but that single diesel heater heating a 40-foot coach in getting down to the teens and only 20-something today. It's doing great. So the change I made here was I actually ran a duct pipe from the heater directly in here like that, and obviously it doesn't look all that great. So running that heater duct all the way directly into the bus, what that did is I think I have less parasitic losses from relying on the main HVAC ducting system to get the heat air all the way up into the coach. Before, I was just putting it into the ducting and kind of pointing it in the right direction to go. This way, it seems to be a lot more efficient. I would say we're using about 20 to 30% less fuel per day keeping this warm. And yes, I'm still keeping it warm. I let it get down a couple of times, but we just end up using it so often still. We've got hockey coming up, which I think we are going to continue to probably use this as like a mobile locker room because we got a couple of kids there. We have to get dressed outside before we can go into the arena these days. And yes, you can get ready at home, but Lucy's a goalie, I'm a goalie. That's going to be pretty hard. And we've got a bus. Why not? So let's get on to some things I've been working on outside, some scary stuff, and some just kind of annoyance stuff. So one of the things we ran into, actually it first showed up on our way back to Minneapolis, is our front suspension was not airing up anymore. It froze up. And what I think happened was while we were in the warmer areas, we got some air or some moisture into our air system, and that allowed it to freeze. Now we do have an air dryer, but I haven't really maintained it. I'm going to need to educate myself on that. But we haven't really had too many issues since then. So that's good. Not too bad. Learning experience, right? Here's where it got interesting. You might see a lot of coolant here, and I was filling it up here. I've just been keeping an eye on it. Yeah, we're looking okay here. I'm a little full, but I'm probably burping some air bubbles out yet. Remember in Wyoming when that hose blew? Well, I noticed the temps were getting a little warm, and we found ourselves a leak here. Well, worst case scenario is I lose it all, I guess. Yeah, and I filled up most of the cooling system with water. We'll top the rest off with water. When I get back, it's probably due for a proper flush and fill anyway. So being that it's summer, I don't really have to worry about it freezing or most of what drained out. And I figured, well, I'll take care of it when I get back. I kind of half forgot, or I was always remembering, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But, you know, things kept getting pushed out. And eventually, we came back from a ski trip and it was going to get cold. It was going to get, I think, -10 that night. And I was worried, oh crap, what is my coolant at? I don't even know. You know, how strong is it? Is it going to survive? Is it going to crack the engine? I don't know what was going to happen. So I got a tester right away and tested the coolant, and it was only good to like 0 or 7 degrees. So I plugged in the block heater, And but I did have a little bit of a scare. I had some coolant coming out of some of the hose clamped areas, and I've since kind of learned that's kind of normal in big equipment like this, that the clamps will loosen up over the summer and then they contract, and all, all the piping and all that. So that wasn't a big deal. I think we were safe, but I bought a ton of coolant, and I pretty much did a flush and fill around Christmas time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't recommend people doing things the way I've done them. Procrastination, it doesn't always pay off. Rarely. So far, we're good. I mean, nothing horrible happened. No coolant in the oil or anything like that. So we're in good shape there. So I think that's about it. As far as what is going to happen next, what are we going to do next? Not sure. I know Jen and I have really enjoyed our time traveling, and we want to do more of that. That's for sure. As far as when, we're not sure. It kind of depends on kids' sports schedules here in Minnesota. Right now, hockey season is getting pushed into March and April, so that might throw off any possible spring break trip. We've kind of been talking about maybe wanting to do Padre Island again. Maybe that's me. I really want to do that again. We only stayed there 2 nights. I feel like we need to do that right. We got rushed on that. Remember, we were down there when this whole thing started. The thing that we're still kind of in. It started while we were down there. So we kind of would like to go back and do that. But yeah, that's it. If you like what we're doing, want to follow along on our travels and my working on the bus, continuing to improve it, make it better, all that stuff, by all means, subscribe, like it, comment. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Where should we go next? Give us some suggestions. Been out west, thinking about going out east. Who knows? Until next time, see you guys later.